So hi and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be going through my thoughts on the Rocket Jump Ninja mouse, the MZ1 from Xtrfy here, and giving my ideas on what I've seen in the video, what I think is going to be doing, and how we expect the internals to look on this mouse. And obviously everything's a bit more up in the air here. I'm just taking pure speculation here, what I've seen in the video and what I've gathered from other Xtrfy mice here. So this could change when Rocket Jump Ninja releases it. So congrats Rocket Jump Ninja for releasing his own mouse here. This is good to see from a YouTuber who's been around for a long time. He's certainly reviewed a lot of mice, as he says, around 150 with 250 mice in his collection here. So this is good to see. So expecting some good experience here from a veteran mouse reviewer. So if you haven't seen this video, I'll put a link in the description so you can go take a look at his announcement and his video. And we're just going to go through now and analyze this as we go forward. So let's start off with the weight here. While 56 grams is light, that's certainly putting it on the side where a lot of people might get a bit twitchy. Most people are like 60 to 80 grams of weight in their mouse here. And I know this because I do a lot of weight reductions and a lot of people continuously tell me what their preferred weight is in mice. So a little bit of a gamble there. One of the reasons why this mouse is so light though, is when you look at the dimensions here, and you can see them here, is that this mouse is extremely short at 111 millimeters. That's a short mouse. Now I looked quite long originally in the video. But actually, when you compare it to other mice, and you can compare it to something like the Razer Viper Mini, which is 118 millimeters in length, the Ultralight 2, 116 millimeters in length, the MM710 from Cooler Master, 116 millimeters in length, the Modelo Minus, 120 millimeters in length. So the shortest mouse I've ever reviewed is the M1K, and that was 79 millimeters. And when I get hold of one of these, this will be the second shortest mouse. So this is a very short mouse. Predominantly looks like it's going to be aimed fingertip grip with maybe a little bit of a claw, because palming this is probably going to be not very easy for people with bigger hands, just purely because of how short it is. Like I say, this is a short mouse, and that kind of helps with the weight here. So 56 grams, it is light, but it's also quite a small mouse. So taking a look at the switches here, and this is the M42 here. You can see Xtrfy always lists the switches here, the Omron. If you go through all their website, they always list Omron. And you can see here on this mouse, it looks like it's using a Caliph 8.0. A lot of people on my Discord were saying it's using a Caliph 8.0, and this is kind of what's triggered this video, really. And I thought I'd take a proper look on here on Rocket Jump Ninja's video. You can see that looks like a 8.0 Caliph on the switch there, and that would fit in with the translucent design here. If you come all the way down to the spec here, you can see here that he does not list, or they do not list, any of the spec for the switches. So to me, it looks like a Caliph 8.0, which is a nice switch. Then glean a little bit more information, you can see some side switches, and what they normally use here on the Xtrfy, I'm going to assume it's going to be identical here, is Hawanu. They also use that for the scroll wheel and the DPI button. And taking a look at the encoder here, and you can see in a few of the pictures, it looks to be an F-switch brown, which would fit in again with the other Xtrfy encoders that are especially in the M42 with the same scroll wheel as well. So looking like it's like using quite a lot of the same components here as the M42. Flicking onto the skates here, well, you've got a nice top skate and two split rear skates, which I'm definitely not a fan of. I'm not a fan of split rear skates. The Viper Ultimate has those, and I find the catch, and this is going to have exactly the same problem, whether they are slightly larger or they look to be. But remember, this is a small mouse here, right? What we also expect to find here, like the M42, is going to have two screws at the front, two screws at the bottom here. So you're probably likely to strip out all the feet in order to change the power cord or to open it up. Could be wrong here, but that's how they seem to be going forward with their Xtrfy M42. Cable-wise, it looks to have a slightly elevated, although it looks a bit more flat than the M42 stress relief here at the front here for the cable, which this is definitely going to drag. This is using the standard cable here from Xtrfy, which is pretty thick, not overly flexible compared to a power cord. Could be improved, and this is definitely going to drag on your pad because the elevation here is not very good, and then the M42, that definitely drags. Another thing here is the side switches here. He's put a split in the sides here, which is good to see. I know a lot of people prefer that, so you can tell whether you're using front or back. It doesn't really affect me. But these side buttons are still quite small, and I think that is going to be a bit of a potential. You have to remember the length of this is very, very short. Therefore, these are going to be quite small. RGB-wise, I don't particularly like it on the front here. I don't really see the point, but okay. Again, following the same standard Xtrfy style of RGB here. There's also going to be no software, which Xtrfy don't provide either, so you have to control it all. That DPI button, for instance, will control the RGB. If it's going with the other Xtrfy options, it won't be a button that you can assign. You're also not going to be able to assign these side buttons here unless you use something like Mouse X software, because they don't provide that option when you buy the mouse. So overall design and shape, there's some nice holes in it. Looking a bit like the Cooler Master MM710 here with the flatter parts where your finger's going to be. Again, this is going to be tailored to your hand. And this is one of the things that hopefully Rocket Jump Ninja hasn't done here, is tailored this to his hand. He's got a lot of experience, so I expect not, but these holes can be difficult to position, especially if you're designing it for a lot of people, because everyone has different hand sizes, right? Overall, I like the concurved buttons, though. I do like the curved buttons here, but like the Xtrfy S2. A lot of people have said it looks like a Xtrfy S2. Here's two of them in side by side. For me, the Xtrfy S2's got a slightly more sloped hump, and this one's got the hump a bit further back, but again, this Xtrfy S2 is a lot longer than the MZ1 here. Rocket Jump Ninja here using an ultra-wide monitor. That's going to be absolutely latency as anything here. He's also using a Razer bungee here on his Xtrfy mouse, which instantly tells me that the cable is going to be a bit rubbish, and he's using an Xtrfy pad. It's unusual for him not to be using the Xtrfy bungee here. Take that as you wish. So going for the options here, we're using the 3389 optical sensor, which is good. I'm personally a fan of the 3360, but the 3389 is also a very, very good sensor, so it's nice to see. We're using the standard Xtrfy EZ cord. What you also see is we're going to have the buttons on the bottom for DPI, CPI, as they call it here, RGB options, as you expect. So everything's going to be controlled without any software. Overall shape, though, it looks pretty ambidextrous here. A few people are saying the right-hand side slightly different, more flatter than the left-hand side, so it'll be interesting to see that a bit closer up. It does look like that in the pictures. Overall, though, quite a flat shape. Again, looks like a Xtrfy S2 with a MM710 rear by the looks of it. Get on to the price. Well, it's 79 euros, which is $95 at the current exchange rate, and then you need shipping on top of that, which is 15 euros, which is $18 shipping. That makes it $113 mouse, which is expensive, especially given that their other mice are around 60 euros at the start. This is 79 euros to start with, which means you're certainly paying a Rocket Jump Ninja tax here, given this pretty much is a M42 with a bit of shape changes from Rocket Jump Ninja. And that's it. Hope you've enjoyed this. We'll check it out when it gets released, and we'll go into it in more detail. I'll catch you very soon. See you later. Bye-bye.